because they weren't really able to swap at all. Any of their compositions. It's too one-dimensional. Did I book an 8 to 10? Why did I write full send? Thursday? Or Friday? My Discord messages are bugged with a bunch of people. We'll be right back. Oh, is it working now? My Discord was bugged. It's not showing messages with some people. Like I'm just sitting here on like this perpetual loading screen. It's just not showing them. Oh, there it goes. It's taking like a really long time. Alright, let's watch this last map. Dallas loves to do this strat where they run right through the enemy team and then try to get to the other side, but I think teams have figured this out where like this is like a really known strat of theirs and they got punished by like Junkrat and Munchkin just spamming down on them. How do they do this though? I guess they just come up and stuff them. The soldier dropped the heal for himself, and then Jaehong and Toby don't have anyone to heal. Like, they're trying to heal each other, but because they're in, like, barriers and stuff, it's really hard to. And they both just fall. It's, like, not a good place to hold either from Seoul. Like, they needed to adapt and move. You want to, like, fall back to blue car or, like, have somewhere else to stand. When you're forced to stand up there like they were, it's just they don't the supports don't have anywhere to move when they do inevitably get dove like they did. Yeah, chips off Valk and he gets visored down. I mean, ideally Dallas wants to trade kills here because it's so long of a walk back for Seoul. But I mean, you obviously don't want to trade Valk for nothing. Valk and then get just mowed down by a visor. We're doing an awesome job of protecting Toby there. Offense line it kind of falls apart whenever you don't have Monkey to sit with you. Seoul played too aggressively here, I think. Like, they were trying to hold him in spawn, and they end up having to Valk. I think it's like okay to like trade ults, but I don't know if they actually needed to ult there. Maybe they just wanted to do it proactively and actually get some timeout, but it doesn't hurt them. But I just don't know if it was the best set play they could have ran. I don't know if there's a good angle here, but Seoul really wasn't set up to counter this soldier. They dove the supports like super hard. Let's see. Yeah, I think time is on high ground right here. You can see they committed like 3 people to actually countering like the Mercy Winston. I mean, Mercy dies, but then Winston just pops Primal during that fight, and then Time was just able to sit up on high ground really uncontested attack visor. I think whenever I watch Time in these situations, I just see him like long range, missing a lot of shots. I just don't think Time is Soldier is like that good, and they can't rely on him to ever carry with it. I just don't think he's at that level. Like, he can definitely play it, and he's like okay at it, but I feel like Dallas looks their worst whenever he's forced to play it. I would much rather have Harry Hook playing Soldier and then have Chips and Custa in. Both of them splitting Mercy Zen. They just pocket the hell out of Flood of this fight. You just can't die. He just held Blade forever and just waited for like the support cooldowns to be done and their ults to be over before he even used it. So he just could not be countered by it. I think they have room for effect here to actually just get some shots. I think they C9 it here. Yeah, they knew Taimu was about to get visor, and so they just mega dove him, but they didn't let they just jumped off the point. So Fleta's offense here is nuts. It's a pretty standard comp playing far on offense on Nimbani. They're saying they're getting thrown off by it, but I mean, I think it's pretty standard. Dallas plays weird double hit scan. You can see Fleta just immediately changes off far. He's like, no, fuck that. They're kind of just stuffing them and like waiting for them to peek out at all. Forcing some people back to play like really scared as just like Fleta's taking these angles on them and his whole team sitting there ready to protect him. Like Seoul is just playing super safe and just like not going for too aggressive of a push. To be fair, they don't have like the biggest dive, but they're just letting their soldiers just land shots and then playing line of sight. And pressuring when they see like a shield is down or someone's out of position. I don't know what Dallas can do. Dallas, I love the swap they actually make here. They have 5 minutes to hold right here. It's like really hard, or it's the easiest point to hold, but I mean it's hard to hold for like 5 minutes because you have to be like have perfect ult usage. But they make the swap super early here to Ryan Zarya. I think Flutter just wants to get an angle where he can actually punch someone that's not going to get bubbled here. This would be nice. So they get a flank visor here. Get an angle behind the Rhine shield. Munchkin gets super greedy there and peeks into it. High noon. His trance is so greedy. I don't like it. I think they had already like lost one, and then they lost someone on the cart. can look to just play super aggressive with this grab because there's nothing that can stop them. I don't think he was paying attention there. Toby had popped Valk and res the Rhine behind him. Zuma misses his bubble. He accidentally hits Toby. A bit strange how Fleta had swapped to Reaper, even though they had a McCree on their team, so he's just gonna get like... It's just hard for him to walk up. Like, they don't even have Lucio or anything to like help him. So like once he's actually close, like yes, he can pressure XQC and maybe he can like play like a flank threat on the Reaper, but I mean McCree just gets to stun you and kill you. So it's also junk. They only have a minute here, so they actually have to get like one fight in really quickly and then get the next fight and hope they get ults. Or just reses all over the place here. They give Soul time to like come back actually in this. Actually build like a trance and stuff. I think they wanted to give time for themselves to build trance, but I think they just had to go balls to the wall. I think the rules are pretty weird in this series. Like, if you tie, then you win. It's kind of weird. It was like pretty anticlimactic, where like Soul like gets the tie, and it's like, oh yeah, you won. Oh. You can see like after this game, like how confused they are. It's really hard to pressure the pharmacy if they're on defense. Like they get to play like really wherever they want on this point. And you have to have Soldier like set up and actually like putting shots into him. Seen this Torbjorn comp before though. I don't know if I like it. Maybe if you play it with Orisa, but like Far just gets to kill it for free basically. Like that's an okay spot for it to be, but I mean if you just hit rockets and just the Far gets pocketed, then nothing you can do. Jaehong like suicided in here. It was pretty strange. Like I don't think even Seoul had like a really good attack here. Like they kind of just like countered the Torbjorn, and then the Torbjorn put his turret like really far away, so they couldn't even do anything about it. And then they kind of were just like clueless as to how to attack. Because Jaehong was like solo flanking Halls as Zen, and then just gets killed. So overall, it was like a really good series. The first two maps were amazing, and then it kind of tapered off after that.